Hello and welcome to TRU's application session 101, Scholarships and Awards. My name is Megan Hare and I use she, her pronouns. I'm so honored and excited to be joining you tonight from the traditional and unceded territory of Tk'emlúps to Secwépemc within the Secwépemc Ulu. We're so lucky to live, work, and play here. So I'm a future student advisor in the Future Student Office. You've likely received some invitations to join us this evening from our team or heard from us along the way once you've applied to TRU. So my position means I know a little bit about everything and I really help students like you transition and become TRU students. I know a little bit about lots of things. So I've enlisted the help of Sarah Farrow, Student Awards Coordinator for the session tonight. And we're just so excited to have you join us this evening. Please note, this session is specifically for domestic undergraduate students that are interested in studying on campus in Kamloops with 12 credits or less at the post-secondary level. That means if you're an international, graduate, law, or returning student, this session isn't for you. Not that we don't love your company, it's just that the information covered tonight won't really apply to you. We will have a Q&A session at the end, so we'll leave it to Sarah to cover lots of the information we all need to know tonight. And at the end, we will check the question and answers. So now I will hand it over to Sarah. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Megan. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate the acknowledgement as well, and I also use she, her pronouns. My name is Sarah Farrow. I am currently the temporary awards coordinator in the Student Awards and Financial Aid Department. I'm looking forward to providing you with a quick introduction to our office and what we do, and then we'll jump into more specific content. We should finish with ample time for questions at the end. So, Student Awards and Financial Aid, what do? We help you plan your educational investment. We look at things like merit-based awards, which cover scholarships, awards, and prizes. We look at need-based programs that help remove financial barriers like loans, grants, and bursaries. Loans and grants often are what the government will give you through student loans. And then we also advise and educate on financial literacy, financial planning, budgeting, resources. So we help students plan their educational investment. If you need to book a financial aid appointment, we would love to meet with you and take you through any of these options, especially as it comes to funding your education. We're available in person, on the phone, and by email, or even a Teams call if that's preferred. So this is just a little outline of what we're going to cover tonight. On the agenda, we have who should apply, when you should apply, how to apply. And this is all in reference, like Megan stated, to our entrance awards and scholarships. I will cover a little bit on the need-based funding side with the financial aid piece, the bursaries. How to write a strong essay, a review of scholarship winners, and then a little bit of need-based funding options. So who should apply? First, before we jump into that, I just want to cover a few basic definitions. So what's the difference between a scholarship award and a bursary? Well, on this slide, you'll see scholarships and awards are about what you have accomplished. So either academically or outside the classroom. It has nothing to do with whether you need the money. Also in this category happen to be prizes, funds, and fellowships, but we're not going to touch on those today because they don't apply to the entrance category. Also, just to note, some external organizations will call money scholarships, but it's not actually scholarships. So just check the details of those if you're applying for external awards. Bursaries, on the other hand, are solely to help level the playing field and give a financial hand up to those who need it. They may be restricted to certain programs or students from a particular region or a minority group, but they always require demonstrated financial need. And a grant is basically the same as a bursary, but it's awarded by the government or sometimes a foundation. Again, at the bottom of the slide, you'll see our web page that you can go to for more information on definitions. So what we have here are the TRU scholarships and awards. General requirements. So this goes for all scholarships and awards. We've got Canadian citizens and permanent residents is a requirement. that you are being admitted to a campus diploma or baccalaureate degree program, and that's campus in Kamloops or campus in Williams Lake. Both of those are applicable, and have not previously attended TRU. And if you have, you've only completed up to 12 transferable university credits at a part-time basis. And that's for scholarships. And then for those of you who may have had a few courses that you've taken elsewhere and you're wanting to transfer them to TRU, you are still applicable for entrance awards. You can transfer it so long as you do not have a post-secondary credential already completed. Again, all of these are on our webpage at tru.ca/entrance. So when should you apply? We have some deadlines. So right now our application is actually open. Some have already been preemptively sending things in and references are coming in, which is great. So we have two categories with the scholarships and the awards. So the application deadline for the scholarships is March 1st, and the TRU awards, the entrance awards, the deadline is April 1st. So in other words, the sooner the better if you want to get them in, but don't rush your preparation just to get it in earlier. There's actually no difference in how applications are treated, whether you hand them in December or whether you get them to us the morning of March 1st. Applications that are complete and submitted by the end of the day on March 1st will be considered for both scholarships and awards automatically. Applications that are submitted between March 2nd and April 1st will normally only be considered for awards. All reference letters should also be submitted by the deadlines, respectively. How to apply. With entrance scholarships and awards, all scholarships and awards are applied through a single application online. So this is available in your MyTRU account, so that I'll show you on the next slide if you're kind of wondering how to navigate that. The application will include a spot for you to submit your essay. It's a copy and paste function. And then the two references you will be submitting separately via email. And there is a PDF form on our webpage that you can also download for that purpose. If you only wish to be considered for the president's entrance based on just on grades, then you don't need to submit an essay or references at all. So this is just a little snapshot of the MyTRU landing page. If you haven't seen it already, this is what it looks like. And the awards channel is just kind of down in the lower left in the red circle there. And you're going to click on apply for an award. It's going to take you to what looks like that little rectangular box there that says apply for bursary scholarships and awards. You'll see a big blue button that says apply. So you're going to pick the TRU undergrad entrance scholarship and awards, click apply, and then go through the application process. There'll be an opportunity to review your stuff and submit. You can actually sign back in and edit, update, take your time to complete the application up until the closing date. So you'll have a little bit of time there to kind of get started and go back in and look, review. If you want to add something to your essay, you can fix that as long as it's before the deadline of March 1st to be considered for scholarships. Once you've submitted the application, it'll show you that it's completed. That blue bubble that says apply will actually change to completed with a date on it, so you know that you've submitted it. And again, like we talked about, submit your references separately to the email on the screen. And we require a minimum of 2 references to be considered. And these are sent in to that email address. When we receive them, we will actually put a note on your file. So if we go back, you'll see right under the application type, there'll be another line that will say that we've received the reference form. That way you know that we're getting them, because we're not actually replying to everybody's email saying yet received. Basically, if you get a reply back email from us, an auto reply, that means we've received it. And then when you see the note in your MyTRU under the application, it'll say exactly what we've received. And again, on the webpage, you'll have the opportunity to download that reference form. So it's a fillable PDF and it needs to be submitted in electronic form. So we will not accept anything that's printed and handwritten and then scanned back to us. We will only accept the original filled out PDF. You have the option of sending the link to your referee and saying, can you please fill this out and send it to entrance@tru.ca, or if you'd prefer, you can send them the PDF, get them to fill it out electronically, send it back to you, and then you can send it to us, however is comfortable for you. Either way, it has to be done electronically in the PDF version and sent back to us to entrance at tru.ca. This one's a little bit small. You can actually, if you go to tru.ca/entrance, you'll see this exact information. So this is just outlining some of the specific entrance scholarships that we have. There are 4 different ones, as well as a relocation top-up scholarship. So all of these scholarships will require at least an 80% average in your best 4 grade 11 academic courses, including English. So I just want to be clear that your average is only a gatekeeper to qualifying. Our selection is based on your essay and references once you get through that 80% minimum grade gate. The only case where marks come back into play is when there are multiple applicants that are really closely ranked. Then we may refer back to an average to essentially break a tie. The Grunert, at the very top, Alvin and Lydia Grunert's entrance scholarship, and the TRU Ambassador entrance scholarships are full degree scholarships. So they're designed to cover your full degree while you're here, whereas the other 2 support you in your first year to kind of get you in the door, get you established, give you some financial support that way. That's the leadership entrance and the president's entrance. And the relocation top-up is basically if you're coming from, say, Chilliwack or somewhere further outside of Kamloops that requires you to travel and relocate and essentially have a new address, then we put that into consideration as well when we are assigning the scholarship funds. Then on our entrance award side, so this is the April 1st closing date, the GPA average is actually 70%, but we take into consideration all grade 11 courses at this point. In addition, you can be transferring credit in, although you cannot have completed an academic post-secondary credential, except if it's non-transferable. So what I mean by non-transferable, it's something, let's say some students like to go away for a year to do some missionary work or a YWAM program or something with Rotary where they're doing some sort of certificate, but it's not an academic transferable and it won't give you any credit towards anything else at TRU. That's fine. We also want to take into consideration the reason why we look at grade 11 is because at the time of submission, most students are finishing their grade 12 classes, and so we don't have finalized grades. When we look at the grade 11 courses, we're looking at what students have done in their grade 11 year. If there are grade 12 courses that are completed, and especially if that GPA happens to be higher, we'll look at those instead. Specifically with the academic courses for scholarships. So you'll see here at undergraduate entrance, there's over 40 awards that we hand out in between 2,000 to 4,000. And these go towards the first 2 semesters of tuition and fees. This is also all online. If you want to have a good look at our entrance page, all of this information is there in case you're curious to know. We do have some preferences there. Like we said, if you're the first person in your family to attend university, like a first generation student, then we definitely take that into consideration. 10 of the awards here are regional and only available to students who have graduated from secondary schools within the TRU region, but outside of the city of Kamloops. It gives a little bit of an information there on what the region is. We also have a new entrance award that's not displayed on our webpage quite yet. It's in the finalizing stages. It's called the CIBC Entrance Award. And this award will be given to equity deserving students, which may include students who identify as Indigenous, Black, or students living with disabilities who have applied to study computer science, software engineering, or business administration at TRU. These entrance awards are supposed to support students in overcoming barriers and help them access and succeed during their higher education journey. So a little bit about how to write a strong essay, some do's and don'ts. This information is also available on our webpage, but your essay should describe and elaborate on any areas of past learning, service, leadership, accomplishments such as positions or roles in student government community. You can read the rest of that. I'm just reading the slide out loud here. We want to see how all of this aligns with TRU's values of inclusivity and openness, community-minded interconnectivity, a curiosity that embraces new ideas and risks change, and a sustainable approach to living. Beginning with our largest scholarships, we are in essence looking for outstanding TRU alumni before they've even started post-secondary. What have you accomplished or been involved with that defines you and gives us a glimpse of who you may become in the future? And this slide is a direct copy of what's on our website. A little bit of tips. We're looking for both accomplishment and altruism. Maybe give some descriptions of the nature and impact of each involvement that you've done. You don't need to explain or define familiar programs at your high school, such as LINC or leadership classes, other than maybe mentioning that you were involved in them and the duration of that time. When your essay is well written, you stay on topic and you build a good case for yourself. You can be interesting. Weaving that creativity in there is actually quite welcome. Try not to repeat what we've already gathered from your application and your transcript, and start early. Maybe write a couple of practice essays, have someone go over them, take some time, give yourself the opportunity to develop your ideas. You can ask parents, you can ask teachers, other facilitators that you've worked with for their opinion. They can feed into that essay. You can even have them edit it for you or review it with you. An essay should be in the range of about 1 to 2 pages, which is about 600 to 1200 words. Again, you're going to be copying and paste this into the online application. Looking at references, some tips in asking your referees is request a reference letter at least 3 weeks in advance. Give them a little bit of time to think about it and reply. Ask a qualified person. This could be an experienced teacher, a counselor, or a supervisor who knows you well and is happy to provide you with a good, strong, thoughtful endorsement. It's better to have a strong endorsement from maybe a lesser known referee than a more moderate or passive endorsement from someone of perhaps a higher standing, like a principal, especially if they don't know you as well. We want to hear from someone who knows you, who's had a direct connection with you and your accomplishments. If teacher's been supervising you in your leadership class, maybe that would be a good person to consider. Discuss the important details with your referee, like what the requirements of the scholarships are, the themes of your application. You can point them to the website so they kind of know what you're going for and how to tailor their responses. Send your referee a friendly reminder about a week before your deadline if you haven't heard from them, and make sure to send a thank you note afterwards. I think it always shows a little bit of gratitude goes a long way. So what does a scholarship winner look like? Remember, this is a composite. These are examples that are general. Some of them are very specific, but think general. Think along the lines of, I'm a member of a school club, or I've helped plan a fundraiser. So a scholarship winner is someone who's a leader, someone who has community service and volunteering, someone who can demonstrate overcoming adversity. This is what we like to see as grit. You'll see that word on our webpage, wanting to see how you've incorporated grit, the ability to overcome obstacles to achieve something. What have you achieved academically? District honors, outstanding student awards, that kind of thing. Are you the first person in your family to attend university? This is actually going to be asked in the application. You can just say yes or no. Putting down those things like sports involvements, coaching, anything that you've led or initiated is good to put in there, any volunteer hours, that kind of thing. It gives you kind of a snapshot of the type of student we're looking for. Aside from academics, we want to see someone who is contributing to their community that they're currently in. An ambassador, so someone who's getting the 4-year or the degree-long scholarship, will have performed at a level above what you're seeing here. So for the higher levels, we're looking for a greater level of impact. Did the student just participate, or were they significantly involved and committed? Were they assisting in leading, or were they actually fully leading the activity? Did they transform the activity, or did they initiate the whole thing themselves? What did they do that will have a lasting impact after they're gone? And who did they impact for how long and to what degree? Now that we've covered the scholarships and awards, I just want to touch a little bit on need-based funding options for those who may not feel like, oh, my grades are just kind of on the edge, or you have great grades, but you also have a high level of financial need. We have options. The biggest option probably for us is the TRU Assurance Bursary. So there are up to 25 bursaries each year, up to $20,000 given out. And we say up to $20,000 because the Assurance Bursary is designed to support both new and transferring students. So you, as a high school student coming in, can be potentially supported for the entire 120 credits of your TRU degree. If you're a transferring student or you're already at TRU and you're like, hey, what's this? We'll support you for up to the first 120 credits of your undergraduate. So to be eligible for the bursary, the assurance bursary, you need to be primarily admitted to a campus bachelor degree program. You need to enroll in courses on Kamloops or Williams Lake campus. If you want to take open learning, it's permitted, but you have to kind of keep within the same time frame as a regular semester. You have to have approved government full-time financial aid and other need or anything else that you may be available for first. We need to see those approved loans before you're eligible for the assurance bursary. This is because we want students to be able to take advantage of all of the funding available to them, and we will support them with further financial assistance for living costs and that kind of thing. Unmet need is what we like to call it. If the government isn't able to meet all of the students' needs through loans, then we come in with something like the assurance bursary and meet that unmet portion. So the bursary will fund, like I said, any remaining financial need up to the completion of 120 credits at TRU. There's more information at the link below, tru.ca/assurance. While the assurance bursary application doesn't open until late April, we're very proud of the newest funding edition. This is, we're just finishing the second year of this bursary altogether. You'll only normally be offered one major scholarship or award, but since this bursary is based on need, you can actually retain a scholarship and this bursary as well. This is a more extensive application that will ask you about your past and projected income, savings, parental income, and but it is by far our largest bursary that's available. We also have some smaller TRU undergraduate entrance bursaries. These are sort of on a case-by-case basis. If you're looking at this and you feel that you meet those terms on there, then you can send an email to entrance@tru.ca and ask us to open up the undergraduate entrance bursaries. This application period is between April 1st and May 31st, and it's done all at the same time. If you're in a campus degree program and you can demonstrate financial need, then you can just fill out the assurance bursary application and you'll actually be considered for everything. So you only need to fill out one application if you're a campus degree student. Those in a diploma program who can demonstrate need are welcome to request this entrance application to be open for you. So it's important to remember, post-secondary is a financial possibility for every eligible applicant. Everyone's journey will be different, and students should book a financial aid appointment if they feel they do not have the funds to attend post-secondary. We believe that post-secondary education, and it is a partnership between the student, parents, or guardians, the government, and the institution like TRU. The key is to plan ahead. I just thought that was kind of a cute little image anyway. And if you have any further questions or emails, or questions or concerns, you can email us, call us. Our information is there on the contact page. While future students can answer many general questions about costs and funding, the cost of a program, that kind of thing, we're also here to help with other details as it relates to scholarship awards and specifics that way. Feel free to reach out at any time. And if you're on campus, come visit. We'd be glad to see you. So that's all I have. Any questions?
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. We do have a few questions that have come in, so we'll start here. Do we need to only submit one application for all awards and scholarships?
Yes, for the entrance, it's just that one general online application. If you want to be considered for both scholarships and awards, make sure you submit it by that March 1st deadline.
Right, and if they miss the March 1st deadline,
then they'll be considered for awards only.
Yes, which is April 1st.
That's correct.
But you're not going to need to worry about that because you'll all apply by March 1st. Okay, so they believe you said at least 2 reference letters. Can you submit more than 2?
You can, if you feel you have more than two very strong reference referees, yes, to support you, then you can. Two is sort of the standard that we would hope that students would have. Maybe don't send in six, but anywhere from 2 to 4 at most, I would say, is acceptable.
Can TRU START students apply for the scholarships?
Yes, because trades programs are not considered academic.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you've done the TRU START with the trades, then you should be able to. And as long as what you've done at TRU, if it is academic, is not at a full-time pace, it's part-time, and it's no more than 12 credits total for undergraduate academic.
Perfect. Yes, because we do have some TRU START course takers. So yeah, as long as you won't have up to 12 credits if you're in that situation. So you would be good to go. Okay, so sort of a similar question. If you're doing dual credit course during grade 12 year through a different university, can you still apply for entrance awards?
Yes, entrance awards, yes, because those courses won't be going towards a credential. As long as you haven't earned a credential, like a certificate or a diploma at the other university, and you're just maybe wanting to transfer a few courses in, you're still eligible for awards.
Perfect. 12 credits or less. Do you have to live on campus to apply for these scholarships?
No, I mean, obviously you're going to be living where you're going to school if you're doing it in person. So, but you don't have to be on campus per se to be considered. No, you could be renting an apartment downtown or, something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. What are the assistance options for online/distance students?
The assistance options for new students for online programs, we have a limited amount of bursaries that are available potentially. Entrance is for campus programs, not open learning programs. So,
will there be a different application deadlines for students applying for the winter intake, like January? It's a great question.
So we actually only have the one annual entrance intake. So if you're wanting to be considered for January start, still apply now. And then we will just, if you are a recipient, then we'll just defer your start until January. And you can put that specifically in your application as well, or make note of it. If you receive an offer, you can just let us know that it's your intention to start in January, and we'll defer it till then.
So you don't have to apply for specific scholarships, just a general application.
That's right.
Do the scholarships only cover tuition or housing as well?
So the scholarships, the Alvin and Lydia Grunert, as far as I know, is the only one that is more than just tuition and fees. Everything else goes to just tuition and fees. So if you're looking for issues with housing, you find yourself in financial need, then you might want to consider a bursary as well, either the assurance bursary or an entrance bursary, depending on the program you're in.
So to be considered for a bursary, students need to have an approved student loan before March 1st or April 1st.
For the assurance bursary, yes. For entrance bursaries, no. Applications for fall for the student government loans and grants won't open till early to mid-June. So I know that the assurance bursary, the intention is saying, I'm applying for this, I'm in need, I'm also going to be applying for student loans in June when the app opens. So the whole idea is that when you come to attending TRU in September, we can look on your file if we've offered you a bursary based on your application and your financial need and everything. And you've said, yes, I intend to get loans because you're a brand new student. Then we'll look in and make sure that loan application is approved. That's one of the prerequisites before we can even give funds. If you've been offered a bursary, the assurance bursary in particular, don't include it on your student loan application because you don't actually get it until you have a student loan. So you don't have to include the amount that you've been offered with the assurance bursary on the loan app.
Oh, that's a good tip.
That'll all be in writing as well. If you are offered the bursary, it'll all be stated in the offer letter as well.
Okay, great. More info to come then. Can you please elaborate on reference submission? Is it an online form or do they forward a letter?
So our preference is digital. So a PDF, and the PDF form we have, if you're going to get them to fill it out, use our PDF form. It's online, it's downloadable, and it's fillable. So send it to your referee in that format. You just can download it onto your computer and then attach it to your email and send it to them with the request to be a reference. We will not accept it if it's been printed and handwritten and then scanned back to us. If you're getting a letter from a principal or something like that, where there's a header or whatever, as long as that letter has been scanned as a PDF and sent to us, we'll accept it as well, but nothing handwritten.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
To me. Okay, what should we ask in the email to entrance@tru.ca in order to get a bursary application opened?
Hey, I just looked at the entrance bursary requirements and I feel like I'm eligible. Can you please open a entrance bursary application for me?
Perfect. Is only one person chosen to receive each scholarship and award?
No. So the Alvin and Lydia Gruner, there is only one. The TRU ambassador, there are multiple. And then the same with the others. There are multiple presidents, entrants, multiple relocation top-ups, multiple undergraduate entrance awards as well. So if you look on our website, it actually will kind of give a breakdown of how many awards and how much are offered. If it says multiple, then you can imagine it be more than 10.
Okay, wow. Okay, can students who have completed a 2-year diploma apply for entrance scholarships?
No.
No, but once if they come to TRU and they get 1 semester under their belt, they could apply for ongoing scholarships.
That's right. Yeah, we have an annual general bursary scholarships awards application that opens August 15th to September 30th for in-course awards. What we call in-course is basically, I'm already a student here. I'm not new, I'm current and continuing. So basically second year or higher. So once you get in and you're going, it's an annual application that opens up. Again, it's one application that you complete to be considered for all applicable awards, bursary scholarships that you may be eligible for.
Perfect. Is there a minimum number of years you plan to study at TRU to apply? I'm not certain of plans. Good question.
So the answer to that is a little bit individual depending on the student. The only thing that I can say is that in order to maintain your scholarship, you have to have enrollment each semester of 12 credits. So that's generally 4 courses a semester. And so that puts you at maybe 5 years if you were going to do it that way. Some students will come in and they'll do 5. Megan, you could probably tell me the exact, timing on that. But in order to be a scholarship recipient and maintain that scholarship, specifically for the ones that are your degree long one, then yes, you need to keep 12 credits per semester for every semester of study.
But you're here.
Yeah, for the ones that cover just your first year, you have to maintain the 12 credit enrollment for scholarships, and it's 9 credit enrollment for awards. That has to be met at least in your first 2 semesters in order for you to have both semesters funded by the award. What you do in the second, third, and fourth year of your degree or diploma program is entirely up to you after that.
Okay. Okay, I feel we did touch on this, but maybe this question came in before, but still we can dig into it a little more. Are you able to submit reference letters that are already done, or are they only accepted on the TRU form?
As long as they're done in type.
In type, okay.
And not handwritten and scanned as a PDF. So if you don't send it to us as like a JPEG or a PNG file or something like that, if you can send it as a PDF, you just take a picture with your phone and actually save it as a PDF and then send it. But it does need to be clear and readable. So yeah, that's why we've asked for no handwritten submissions.
Okay.
We would prefer it to be on our fillable PDF form because it sort of conforms to the size and answers the questions that we're looking for. But like I said, a lot of times principals will have, or teachers will have sort of a template that they use and they type it all up. And if that's the way that your referee has chosen to do it, that's fine. Just make sure it's scanned and sent to us as a very legible PDF.
Okay, perfect. And here's a pro tip I learned this year. If you have an iPhone, you can use your note function to scan documents and you can save them just very easily as a PDF in the blink of an eye. So that's my piece of advice. Okay. If you have completed grade 12 courses and the grade is higher than your grade 11 courses, will you be given merit for this?
Yes. If they're completed at the time of submission, when we're looking at your transcripts and calculating your average, yes.
Are there other things such as athletic scholarships? Yes.
Yes, there are. Athletics has quite a bit of funding. We have very generous donors that contribute a lot of financial resources each year. And so the athletics department does have their own set of scholarships. I wouldn't say scholarships, let's say awards that they give to students who are in the athletics program.
Yes, and one of my colleagues had a full ride through university as a volleyball player. So definitely a great option to have. If you're looking into that, just connect with the coaches for the team you want to play on, and they'll fill you in on those details. Okay, to be clear, scholarships are for tuition only, not housing or cost of living.
The Alvin and Lydia Grunert scholarship will cover everything on your account. I think the rest of it, it's a certain amount each semester. And if it covers your tuition and your fees, everything on your account, and there's a little bit left over, I believe you will get that sent as a check.
Okay.
But the housing is not part of the scholarship.
Right. And I think that housing payments are a little different too. They don't show up the same way on your account like your tuition does. So
yeah.
Okay. To be eligible, we need less than 12 credits at a university or less than 12 credits at TRU specifically. Those are kind of both true. That's correct. 12 credits or less no matter where they're from at the post-secondary level.
Yeah, so to be entrance at TRU, you need to have 12 credits at TRU or less to still be eligible. At a part-time. So you can't have done one semester with all 12 credits in it because then you're no longer eligible. It has to be at a part-time basis, and part-time is less than 9 credits a semester. We consider full-time for awards and bursaries to be 9 credits a semester. So you can't study at a 9 credits a semester and be considered entrance. You have to take 6 and 6, 12 total. If you've done 12 elsewhere and you're transferring them over and it's still 12 or less at a part-time, then you're still eligible.
Okay. The part-time, that's a really big piece there to keep in mind, because that would be like 4 courses in your first semester would be putting you at that 12 credit mark. So
yeah, and you're no longer eligible for entrance.
Yeah. Okay, we did that question already. Another thank you. Yes, this information will be posted on the website on the entrance page. Just give us a little bit of time to get it edited and ready to be published. Is there a deadline for the bursaries?
Yes. So the entrance bursary application, let's go back here, is April to May 31st for the entrance bursaries. And the assurance bursary will be at that same time. So we'll actually adjudicate the TRU assurance bursary and the undergraduate entrance bursaries all at the same time after May 31st.
Okay. Okay. If you do not get a seat in a competitive program, but you do get a scholarship, can you change your application, for example, nursing to general science?
Yes, we have a lot of nursing students who that happens all the time. Absolutely. It's as long as it's a campus program, you're generally okay. So nursing students, you're shooting for the moon, you want to get in, it's a competitive program, and unfortunately you don't make it. So you defer back to a science program. That's totally fine.
Perfect. Yes. And on the tail end of that, they ask, can you apply for one program at a time? So that's kind of my area. We do encourage you to only apply to one program, especially if it's nursing. If you are not successful, you will hear from the admissions team and they'll give you an offer to switch your application over to another program like the Bachelor of Science or Arts. And then you can work with advisors to take courses so you become really competitive for the next intakes. So always connect with someone, future students at tru.ca, or the admissions team, specifically admissions@tru.ca, before submitting a second application. Okay, does tuition and fees include textbook costs?
No, because your textbooks are actually, we've found in the last few years, textbook costs are actually decreasing with the rise in e-text. So, and those often are downloadable free textbooks that you can get that don't cost anything, or if they do, it's a lot less than what you would do in the bookstore. So texts are separate from that. They're purchased through bookstores, or if you want to go to Amazon or something like that. So we don't actually cover that through the scholarships either.
Yeah. Right. And you can always do the TRU bookstore does textbook buybacks for lots of books. So you can look for secondhand options too. So the prices will kind of vary. Okay. If you have received an athletic scholarship from TRU, do you include that in your essay?
Sure. I mean, you can. Why not?
Yeah. Give us a full picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can submit a reference letter on letterhead, or does the person giving the reference need to send it?
It doesn't at this point. We are accepting it from either the student or the referee. So long as it's in PDF format, then it should be acceptable, yes.
Okay.
Not handwritten on letterhead.
Not handwritten, yes. That won't do anyone any favors.
No.
What is the President's Entrance Award and how much is it for?
Again, all of this information is on our website.
Oh, yes. And I did pop those links in the chat for everyone as we were going along. If you didn't catch those, you can pop those open and refer to these details.
So just at the very bottom of this very tiny long page, you'll see TRU President's Entrance Scholarship. There's between 10 and 20 scholarships ranging from anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 each that are applied to your first 2 semesters of tuition. And the President's Entrance Scholarship is the only one that we have that's just your academic. So your top 4 grade 11 subjects. We don't need references and we don't need an essay for this.
Okay. Another thank you. You're welcome. If I get my referees to fill out the reference form, do I send the PDF of the references with the letterheads attached to the email as well?
Well, it doesn't have to be on letterhead. I'm a little confused by that question. So what I'm understanding is you send them the PDF form, but they send you back a letterhead.
I think so. I think that's maybe what they mean.
Include whatever they sent you back. If the PDF hasn't been filled out, we don't need it. We would prefer if they filled out the PDF and use that as the reference form that you can then submit to us. But if they say, no, I have this reference form, I've typed it all up. I answer the questions on this page already in my letter that I've already nicely typed out. And they scanned it and sent it to you as a PDF, you can send that in. So you may have one referee who fills out the online fillable form, and you may have one referee who has typed out their own response on their own letterhead from whatever school that you're from, and that's scanned and emailed as a PDF. And those are 2 different reference letters, and we'll accept them both. Our preference is that you send a copy of the PDF to your referee and say, hey, can you please, fill this out? Obviously, can you be my referee? I would love for you. This is what I'm doing. This is where you can find more information. I'm wanting to go to TRU for this kind of thing. Give them a little snapshot of what you're doing. It's a fillable form. It should be very simple. And then they send that either to us directly or back to you. There are a little bit of instructions on the top of the actual reference form as well. So when your referees get it, they're not blind. There's some directions at the top of the reference form.
Perfect. Okay, well, they're all great questions, but can you apply for awards, scholarships, bursaries before accepting an offer to TRU?
Yes. All you have to do is have applied for admission. And then what'll happen is you'll get an email from TRU giving you a student number and all that kind of stuff. And once you have that MyTRU login and your student number, you can go ahead and apply.
Right. And for lots of programs, like competitive programs, you actually won't know if you've been accepted by March 1st. The offers won't be going out until, or even after April 1st. It varies from program to program. So definitely get those applications in. You have nothing to lose if you change your mind. It's fine. Okay. Yes, another same question. How many credits are courses worth?
3, generally.
Generally, yes.
Generally.
Generally.
Most academic courses will be worth 3. You might see some vary in sciences, especially if it's a lab or something like that. But generally, academic courses are 3 credits each.
Correct. Can you receive multiple awards, or can you receive an award as well as a scholarship?
No, you'll either get a scholarship or an award. You can get a scholarship and a bursary or an award and a bursary, but you'll either get one of the scholarships or you'll get an award. Someone who's getting a leadership entrance may get a relocation top-up scholarship as well, because the relocation top-up is used to assist students who are coming from outside of the Kamloops area to attend TRU. So you may see that you've actually received 2 scholarships, but the relocation is sort of a top-up to what you're going to be receiving in something like a leadership or a president's entrance.
To be eligible for awards, 9 or 12 credits each semester. Thanks. I think, how many courses do you have to take to get an award?
Yeah, so scholarships, you have to take 12 credits a semester. For awards, it's 9 credits a semester, minimum. You can do more if you want.
If you want, yes. Would top grade 11 courses include grade 12 courses taken in grade 11?
Yes.
Yes.
So when we adjudicate, we're looking for your grade 11 top academic courses. If, for example, you did Chem 11 in first semester and you did Chem 12 in second semester, and Chem 12 happened to be a better mark, we'll take that one. Or if you did Law 12 in grade 11, we'll look at that, especially if it's the higher mark. So what we're looking for is we're actually taking your top 4 highest academic subjects, and but it has to include English. So English is one of them, and then the other 3 will come from your top academic subjects. Okay,
that's great. Do IB grades count for grade 11 marks?
Yes, and IB is definitely a strong candidate for those who have done IB courses. We definitely take that into consideration as well.
How can someone meet with someone in person?
So if someone wanted to meet with someone in person, all you'd have to do is give an email or a call to the number on the screen, and we can set you up with an appointment with an advisor in our office in person.
There's a couple more here. Okay, can I apply for scholarships if I haven't been accepted yet?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
As long as you've sent in your application for admission and you've received your email from admissions giving you a student number and access to a MyTRU account, you are welcome to apply.
I'm going to close things off here, and everyone, our email is there if you do think of any questions after the fact. All right, have a great night. Thank you again.
Good night.
Bye.